Hey guys, vegan cyclists, today we're talking about the perfect training ride, the perfect workout, especially for someone who is trying to get good fitness for like a road race, or maybe doesn't have a lot of time and they need the perfect workout. So your body has a few different motors and zones, right? Like zone 1 through 6. 1 being recovery, 6 plus being like all out sprint. Most workouts are gonna target just one of those zones, which is a fantastic way to do it. But when you're in a race, you usually are using all of your motors. You're using your endurance, your tempo, your threshold, your VO2 max, you're using it all. And so when you can make a workout that combines all of it, even the mental side of like how to race smart, which is super important, how to be like efficient on the bike, holy smokes, you've got yourself the best workout. So let's go through this. All right, so the workout's gonna be about 3 to 4 hours, which is gonna work your endurance. You're not gonna wanna stop at all. So you're gonna wanna bring as much food with you as you can or have as much water, because the idea is to not stop riding, just like you would in a big road race. You're gonna do 2 different workouts inside of this, and then you're gonna end off with the fastest group ride that you can find. So you're gonna have to kind of like gauge the timing on this. But so you're gonna start with a 20 to 30 minute warm up. Don't really need to worry about power all that much right now, because this is gonna be a difficult ride. This is gonna be a serious training ride. So just enjoy it, but don't go too, lollygaggy. High zone 1, low zone 2, but enjoy it, because it's gonna start to suck. Your first set of intervals are gonna be 10-minute intervals, 2 of them, and you're gonna try to shoot for low zone 4, or your FTP, and then with a 5-minute rest, and then you do it again, so another 10 minutes. If you have a power meter, it's your FTP or right around there, low zone 4. If you don't have a power meter, it's basically as hard as you can go for 10 minutes, but you're gonna wanna be able to repeat that same effort again. So you don't wanna just like blow yourself out for these 10 minutes and then the second interval of 10 minutes just be really crappy. Keep that power really steady. You don't wanna surge a bunch, you don't wanna sprint in the first minute or whatever, so keep it real smooth. After you've done 2 10-minute intervals at FTP or low zone 4 with a 5-minute rest in between, you're gonna now have a 20 to 30 minute recovery spin. But really what you're trying to do here is fully recover from those efforts you just did, because the next workout is gonna work your high end. So we're working zone 2 with just the meat of this ride is 3 to 4 hours. You just did your high tempo, low threshold, so zone 3 and 4 with those 10-minute intervals. And now we're gonna work on your high end. So you're gonna do 1 minute on, 1 minute off, times 5. Your on efforts should be a power that you sustain the whole time. So my goal was 400 plus watts. So I kept it in between 400 to 420. I didn't surge into 700 watt type territory and then go way down. I kept it right pretty much around 400-ish. You're gonna do this 5 times. 1 minute at 120 to 130% your FTP. If you don't have a power meter, this is just about as hard as you can go for a minute. It's not sprinting and then fading off the rest of the time. It is like a solid pace. So like the first 10 to 20 seconds, you should feel like not like that you're dying, but then at the last like 10 seconds, it should be almost a full-on sprint to maintain that type of power. Your rest periods are super chill. You could maybe even not even pedal. You just don't even observe power and you're off. So 1 minute on, 1 minute off, 5 times. Now, I did this twice on this ride. So I did 5 1-minute intervals, then I had a 5-minute rest, and then I did them again. I did another 5 1-minute intervals. And I'll tell you why, is that my power never started to fall. Every 1 minute effort I did in the first one, I was able to sustain above 400 watts. So I knew that I was still making adaptations in that zone. So I did my second set and I still was able to do my 400 watt or my goal, which means that the next time I go out, I'm gonna try to bump my watts up a little bit. I'm gonna increase my goal so I'm always overreaching. Okay, so now about a 10 to 20 minute rest, and now you're gonna find the fastest group ride in your area. And you're gonna wanna try to time it to where you just right as they're leaving, you're catching on. And this is where this makes it the perfect workout, because you should be about 2 hours in now, and this is where the winners are made. being able to go really hard in the first 20 minutes of a race is not that unique. It's not that special. What's special is being able to put out that kind of power late in the race. Now, my goal here with this group ride is to work on being as efficient as possible, because I only really have like 2 matches left to burn in my legs because I'm smoked. I'm trying to be as smart as I can, which isn't always the coolest thing to do in a group because, everyone's there to get a good workout. They're not there to necessarily win the group ride, but that's not my goal. I've already done my workout twice. Super fast guys here, so I'm really fortunate to be able to have such a large group. I think there was like 20 or 30 guys out there in this day. There was a lot of headwind, a lot of surging. It was totally a race replica type ride. We get to this little hill and I only have 2 matches. That's pretty much what I'm feeling, and I use one to go to the front and really put the hammer down. And the idea here is you could also do this in races, but if I go to the front and I do my hardest effort that I know I can do to get over the top of this hill, that usually will discourage anyone from attacking. And I knew that my legs were smoked, so if I push a really hard pace that I know I can sustain, that stops anyone else from just like blowing me out of the water on this climb. And again, I'm trying to use my weakened fitness and race super smart. You've roasted your legs with all sorts of different zone workouts. Your endurance, your tempo, your threshold, your VO max have all been stressed. And so this is like the perfect time for your body to start making adaptations and you to go that extra bit and dig that extra deep. We got a little breakaway going here and we all kind of started to work together, and towards right in the end, there were some attacks. I was able to just get on the wheel, and then Nick Bear just lit up a sprint. He was super fresh, but like this is, if you want to handicap yourself a little bit, if maybe your area doesn't have that many riders that are racers or whatever, this is a perfect way for someone who is trying to be an elite cyclist, maybe in an area that doesn't have elite cyclists, wreck your legs before going and riding with these guys. It will definitely help you improve. So I finished way better than I thought I would because of how strong guys were out there. But after this, we all kind of regrouped. They went back down and finished their ride, but I rode home. But I rode home at about high zone 2, low zone 3. And I finished off the ride at about 3 hours and 15 minutes. And I think I really only had like a good 10 minutes off the bike. So with this workout, you have absolutely stressed every single motor of your body. You've then applied it into some kind of like race setting. Holy moly, you will get huge benefits out of this. Now, you're not going to want to do this all the time because this definitely builds up a ton of fatigue. But if you could do this once to twice a month, I promise you it will probably pay some of the biggest dividends for your time versus what you're going to get out of it. So guys, thank you so much. Do this workout. Let me know how it works out for you. As always, vegan cyclist, yeah.